Okay, so number 12 in your homework says find all solutions to the equation x minus 2 squared plus 4 equals x plus 14. I want to solve for x. Solution means to get x by itself, give x a value. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use separate paper because it's probably going to take up way more room, is FOIL this and then solve for x. So I have x minus 2 squared plus 4 equals x plus 14. Now, I know the squared means multiply twice. So I have x minus 2 plus 4 equals x plus 14. I'm going to distribute everything in the first set of parentheses to everything in the second. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. Then negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. Okay, now I have this plus 4 on the outside equals x plus 14. I want to combine all like terms. Negative 2 and negative 2 make negative 4, so x squared minus 4x. 4 plus 4 is 8 equals x plus 14. All right, so now I have an x squared, which is a clue that I'm probably going to factor it, or I can do the quadratic, but you're going to see factoring's a little easier here. But I have this x and 14 on the right-hand side. To be able to factor, use a quadratic formula, anything, 0 has to be on one side of the equal sign. So I'm going to move this x over by subtracting x to the other side, and that lines up with my negative 4x. They're like terms. So now I have x squared minus 5x plus 8 equals 14. One more step. I have to subtract the 14 to the other side so that it equals 0 over here. Subtract 14 from 8. So now it's x squared minus 5x, and 8 minus 14 is negative 6. So I can now factor it or use the quadratic. I'm just going to factor a times c, my 1 times my negative 6, is negative 6. So two numbers that multiply together to be negative 6, but add together to be negative 5. So let's look, negative 2 and 3, negative 2 times 3, but that equals 1. 2 and negative 3 gets negative 1. 6 and negative 1 get me positive 5. So now it's negative 6 and positive 1 gets me negative 5. So these are my two choices. So I'm going to rewrite this up here as x squared minus 6x plus 1x. I replace my 5x with these two x's. Minus 6 equals 0. I have 4 terms now, so I can use grouping. First two, the last two. I can take an x out of both of these. So now I have x on the outside. X squared divided by x is x. Negative 6x divided by x is negative 6. I can take a positive 1 out of both of those, leaving x minus 6 on the inside there. X minus 6 is both on the inside. Perfect. Those are my greatest common factors. And then x plus 1 equals 0. One more step. I set both these factors equal to 0. So now I have add 6, x equals 6, subtract 1, x equals negative 1. So I pick 6 and I pick negative 1. Perfect. So C and E are my answers there. Now I am going to jump right into number 13 because it goes with it. So let me rewrite it closer to the top. X minus 2 squared plus 4 equals x plus 14. Okay, it says which of the following graphs could represent the solutions to the equation above? So we know that my solutions are -1 and 6. So that means where the quadratic and the linear equation cross, I will have my one intersection will be at x equals -1 and one intersection will be at x equals 6. The first thing I want to do is start eliminating stuff. That is going to be our easiest way to solve this. So if we look at our two equations, the one on the left is a quadratic and the one on the right is a linear equation. Okay, we see the difference, mx plus b, and then this is in vertex form, so it's quadratic. My linear equation has a positive slope. So when I look at all three answers, b has a negative slope. That linear equation is going downwards. So we automatically know it's not b. If you look closely at the numbers are really small, like it's 0 to 10. So you have some decimals going on in the middle there. So I also want to look at my vertex of my quadratic to see if I can eliminate anything else. My vertex here is located at 2, 4. So I'm going to look at the remaining three graphs and see which one has a vertex at 2, 4. This one has a negative x but a positive y, so not 2, 4. This one has a negative x and a negative y, so it's not that one. So by process of elimination, this is my answer. Let's check. Let's see, it crosses here. So if I go down to see where it crosses the x-axis, I could estimate that to be 6, between 0 and 10, 6. Same thing over here, I can go down and look and see that's super close to 1, or -1, I'm sorry. So C is my answer.